Hi folks, this is an Audi A6 C6 2006 model, and we've just had the engine out. We've replaced the timing chain tensioners on both banks of the V6 engine. This is a 3.2 litre FSI, and there's not a lot of talk about the check valves in these engines. You can find out about check valves on the 4.2 and the 3 litre and the 2.8, but the 3.2 must not be a common engine. I know African Driver on YouTube has one of these and he's done a lot of work, but I'm not sure that he's actually come to the source of the problem regarding these tensioners, and it's usually the right hand side. As you're sitting in the car, the right hand side over here that lacks oil pressure and makes the tensioner, the timing chain tensioner, play up, and you can actually damage it with lack of oil, and so you have to replace the check valve. Some of these cars have a check valve under the cylinder head, and you've got to take the cylinder head off to replace that. The check valve stops the oil pressure from running back into the engine when the engine stopped, because if you have a drop in oil pressure, then these tensioners inside these covers here, they're starving of oil and they rattle until the oil pressure comes back into the tensioner and puts tension back on the timing chain. They actually sound like a diesel engine, even though it's a petrol engine. So with this car, you've got to take off the induction system here, and then there's an oil separator cover here, and you've got to remove that. It's not hard, but it probably takes half an hour to get all this off. And these are the two check valves that you have to replace. They supply oil to the right hand timing chain tensioner, as I understand it, and if these play up, then you will get that problem where there's a lack of immediate oil pressure to the tensioner, and that's what causes the damage over the long term. So you can go on replacing these if you have the car for a long time, till the cows come home. But the problem is often, as I understand it, that these check valves can fail, and that causes a problem with the tensioner not having enough oil to operate properly. So we've taken this off, as you can see, and we've just put the new ones in, and we're about to put it all back together. This is the heart of the problem with these timing chain tensioners failing. So that's just a heads up on that. I hope that's been helpful. All right.